It's your boy Beats by Ash coming at you with another banger of a deck profile. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my new Despia deck list utilizing the new cards that just came out from the structure deck Albaz Strike. So let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with the Despia monsters. First off, we are playing 2 copies of Albaz because we do not want to summon this because we are utilizing the adventure package. We usually want to get this off of our branded opening. So 2 copies is just enough. And then same likewise, we play 2 Tragedy. This card is nice to have if you can send it off of your Fateful Adventure or it be able to utilize with branded in red. This card surges your Albaz or you can search your 1 Aplithium. This card is honestly very nice to me because it just allows you to extend your plays. It allows you to potentially bring back your Albion if you banish it to go into your Ice Jade or your Lobelion. And then to finish off the count, we play 1 copy of Comedy. This card is very nice because if you open up a Albaz and a opening, you can go ahead and get this to protect your Albaz from targeting effects like Effect Failure or Imperm. And then we have the 1 Semi-Brick, which is never really bad to draw because we can fuse it from our hand, Fallen of Albaz. And then I play 1 copy of Goddess of the Third Eye. This is the card that you will be using to summon your Dragoons. You could also use a Hex Sealed Fusion. This is just the one that I have, so I'm going to be using it. And then for the branded spells, we play 3 copies of Branded Opening. This is your best starter in the deck. This card allows you to utilize a Beta Lynx effect in the graveyard when you have a fusion monster on board. As well, this card allows you to summon a Albaz during the draw phase to dodge effects like Droll. So it is probably the best starter card in the deck. And then we play 3 copies of the new card, Branded Fusion, which is just insane. This is, one of the best cards that has ever came out, and it's basically just a shit-all fusion with no restrictions. And then we're utilizing 2 copies of Branded in red. If you're going a pure version, I would recommend going 3 of this, but because we are utilizing the adventure package, I prefer just 2 copies in this deck. This card is the main purpose is just to Guardian Chimera during your opponent's turn. And then we play 3 Pot of Prosperity. I choose to run this just because I want to be able to dig for my Branded Fusion because that is the ultimate goal of this deck is to open up multiple hand traps and just get access to a Branded Fusion and your adventure package. And then we have the 1 copy of Call by the Grave, and then we have 3 copies of Crossout Designator. Crossout Designator, I'm feeling, is going to be a very strong card this format, especially because in the mirror match, if you have this card, even if they do not have a hand trap, at least during your opponent's turn, you could negate something like their Branded Fusion or their Adventure Package or their Branded in red. And then we have the Cancer, known as the Adventure Package. Nothing to be said about here. I'm not running more than 1 Fateful or more than 1 Griffin right now, just because I want to be able to see our Branded Fusion as much as possible. The 1 Foolish, this has a dual purpose to send your Tragedy to the graveyard, which gives you a search, so very nice if you already have access to the adventure package. Then for the hand trap lineup, we're playing 3 Ogre to stop the Cancerous adventure package, 3 Imperm. I feel like this is going to become standard in a lot of deck lists now because it's one of the cards that allows you to interact with their Albion, which can stop them from going into a Dragoon or stop them from going into an Ice Jade. As well, we have 3 Effect Failure for the same purpose. This one is a little bit better just because you can make a Verte with it if you have a weird hand. And then our final hand trap is 3 Ash because we need to negate our opponent's Branded Fusion. So that is it for the main deck. That is 45 cards, and then onto the extra deck, we play 1 copy of Link Spider for our adventure token. We have 1 copy of Relinquished Anima. This is for if you open up a hand of Tragedy or Comedy and a Branded in red so that you do not brick. And then we have the 1 Verte, which is there to summon our Ice Jade. I've thought about playing 2 of this, but I'm just going to try it at 1 right now, see how that goes, because if you have a Branded Fusion, you cannot summon this the same turn. And then we play To Albion, this is probably the one you're going to start out with when you go for your Branded Fusion 99% of the time, unless you go for a Verte play. This card is insane. This is the card that you will send off of your Ice Jade in order to set up a Branded Red or Branded Fusion for the following turn. And then we have 2 copies of one of the new structure deck cards, Lubellion. This card is very nice. It allows us to utilize Dragoons as well. The main difference between this card and Albion is that when you use this effect to special summon, you cannot attack with this card during the same turn. So usually if you were going to make a Ice Jade, you would want to use this card as the material for that, since you can attack with your Albion. And likewise, it is important to try to end on this so that you are able to return your Fallen of Albaz back to the deck, so that when it comes back to your turn, you can utilize a Branded Fusion to send your Fallen of Albaz from the deck again. And then we have the new Interruption-esque card in the structure deck to Ice Jade. This card is a non-targeting banish, which is very nice. And as well, it has a effect where if it is removed from the field by an opponent's card or effect, we are able to activate that effect in the graveyard. Remember to activate that effect when it is sent, just as you would activate a DPE. And then during the end phase, you were able to destroy all monsters your opponent controls, which is very viable against, a lot of the strategies in the meta, something like Flounder or something, anything that has to leave anything on board. It's very toxic if you were in the mirror match. Whoever has this on board first is just such at high advantage. And then we have 2 copies of Masquerade. This card is honestly a card that I would like to banish off of Prosperity pretty early on. It can come up, but most of the time you kind of want to utilize your other fusions first, but it can be very nice if you were able to open up hands with Branded in Red in order to make your opponent pay too many life points for using the Cancer's Adventure package. And then we have probably one of the best cards in the deck is our Guardian Chimera. This is what you are going to be summoning off of your Branded in Red most of the time. It allows you to draw cards and pop cards during your opponent's turn, which is very insane. And then we have our one Quatless. This card, it does come up. It allows you to make your opponent's monster 0 attack. And then also, if they do remove it from the field, you can special summon a Despia monster from your deck, which, is very nice, but mainly using this for the purpose of them having a high attack board. And then we have one Dragostapelia. I do not have my Dragoon with me, so this will most likely be Dragoon whenever I have that. I just wanted to go ahead and showcase you guys the deck list before I have that, since the structure deck will be coming out tomorrow. But this card is a good card to think about, as it is a super poly target, and as well, it is a quick effect, imperm-esque effect. Okay, so that is it for our Despia deck list right now. Let me know if you have any suggestions for the deck, and let me know what you thought about this video, and I will see you in the next one.